Everyone online is obsessed with these cute cats doing cute things, so I decided to share this 30-minute OVA containing cute cats doing cute things, such as going to the circus, washing dishes, going fishing. Well, I guess it isn't as cute as I thought it would be. I first heard of cat soup on a website a while back where it was recommending it to fans of Angel's Egg, and as a fan of Angel's Egg, I decided to check it out. And it's nothing like it. The only similarities they share are that you have no idea of what the hell's going on for the entire movie, but really that's about it. Basically in Cat Soup, you have a brother and sister. They're part of a family with an alcoholic cat father. The sister is in bed sick. I assume this is representing her death, as this purple guy comes up and takes her spirit for a walk away, as where the brother runs up, rips the spirit in half, or rips it away from its memories and stuffs it back in his sister, and drags his sister along with him to different places like the circus, and she's got like one eye halfway open. She's unresponsive to anything. This really reminds me of the sad state of some people's lives whenever they're in an accident or whatever. They're in a vegetative state. They have zero brain functionality for a long period of time, and there's zero chance of recovery. It's a sad state, and even if they did come back to life, they're not going to have any sort of quality of life, but the family prefers to keep them alive. There's also another scene where the boy cat takes a shit off the side of a boat, and fish come up and eat it all. Then a bird swoops down and takes one of those fish and feeds it to her hatchlings, who then continue to shit, and then from that sprouts a tree. You would expect this to be the circle of life, and it kind of is, but you would expect there to be a fruit on the tree that the cat would eat. But no, cats grow on the tree that grows out of the bird shit. What do you expect? It's cat soup. There's also the other scene where they're on the boat, where it shows the disassociation that we have with the suffering of animals to get meat on our plate, where the pig is fishing, he gets the fish. They probably don't want to eat the fish because we just saw what the fish were eating, and yeah, don't need to say anything about that, but they push the pig over, unzip him as he falls apart, and takes part of his meat out. It's completely painless for the pig. The pig is happy the whole time, and then he even eats his own meat because they cook it and share it with him. There are a few minor themes present here or there, but once you combine it all, it really doesn't mean anything as a whole. It's just total chaos, as I said earlier. This OVA is listed as a comedy, but also a psychological dementia series, which I would not really say that is part of either of those categories. I would equate this to personally being dark comedy, as we see there is torture of animals, and then other issues like I mentioned with the sister earlier on, so there is a bit of dark comedy here. Even though the movie is mostly listed as a comedy, I really didn't find a whole lot of it funny. The parts that I found myself laughing the most were from the completely random scenes here, such as with the tree growing the cats, as I just said. So it's basically just from its random nature. So having said that, it's not a movie I would recommend rewatching numerous times. It's definitely something you need to check out at least once. There's also the anime series, which came out about a year before this. It's about the same length as the OVA, considering that each episode is only a minute long, so they're all shorts. This also focuses a lot of dark comedy, but it's a bit of a different type of dark comedy than we see within this OVA. I found in the series there's a lot of racism and also animal cruelty in the series as well. So what's the big difference here? How come I enjoy this OVA much more than the anime series that came before it? Masaki Yasuda. He's working on the script, the storyboard, and he's also the animation director as well. So that's what really elevated this to the random, chaotic height that we see it here. It really reminds me of a lot of his work I didn't know that he was part of the team that worked on this until after watching it, but during the process of watching this, I really felt like it was something that he had worked on. As for the overall presentation, this was produced by JC Staff, so it really doesn't have a whole lot of detail to it. It's very simplistic. However, it does look a lot better than the anime that came before it, in my opinion, but it actually works for what you're seeing. There are some times where it was pretty abstract, but for the most part, I felt that it was very simplistic. As far as the background music goes, it was very ambient. At times, we heard absolutely nothing, and it's easy to see that with the audio, they mostly focused on the sound effects of things, of the birds in the background, people talking in the background, or waves crashing around. These sound effects you could see are very important because it highlights some of the actions that are happening on screen. It doesn't matter if you prefer sub or dub because there's really no dialogue here. The characters say things, but it's all inaudible gibberish, and it doesn't really matter what they're saying as much as what they're doing, and it really shows. Now, moving on to my final score, I really can't give this a number for anything regarding its story or anything, just because it's obvious that it doesn't try to tell one, but as far as my enjoyment level goes, I would say it's about an 8. However, I'm probably not going to rewatch it anymore after this just because my first impressions were really great, but then after I watched it a few times, it just wasn't as fun the next few times around. So anyways, I think Cat Soup is something that everybody out there needs to check out. However, it is a bit of a mature audience because of the dark comedy and body parts and everything flying around. It's kind of weird at certain times, but I definitely think it's worth checking out. If you've seen Cat Soup, then let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and also hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.